you look closely at your life, you'll notice something interesting. Major conflicts don't begin suddenly. They begin when the mind refuses to adjust. When someone says, I won't bend, I won't share, or I won't step back, that refusal is where wars begin. Inside us first and only later outside. Today's verse from Bhagavad Gita explains that exact psychology. In the previous episode, we learned about avidya, how the soul forgets its true identity and starts living as body and mind. Now, in verse 9, the ego reveals its full support system, and in verse 10, it unknowingly reveals its weakness. To really understand this, we must keep Mahabharata story in mind. Now let us understand Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 9. अन्येच बहवः शूरा मदर्ते व्यक्ते जीविताः नाना शस्त्र प्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्ध विशारदाः. The meaning of this verse is, and numerous other warriors, all well trained for battle and armed with various weapons, are here present, ready for my sake to lay down their lives. Verse 9 describes many warriors, skilled, armed, ready to give their lives. At first, it sounds impressive, but psychologically, this is what insecurity looks like. When someone is confident, they don't count support. When someone is unsure, they list it. This is exactly what Duryodhana does throughout the Mahabharata. When the Pandavas asked for peace, they didn't ask for kingdom, they asked for 5 villages. And Duryodhana replied, I won't give land enough to place even a tip of a needle. This wasn't strength, this was fear of losing control. And that fear is called kāma. Kāma means compulsive desire, and it is personified as Duryodhana. Kāma is not just the desire for pleasure, it is also the inability to let go. It can appear as emotional attachment, need for validation, obsession with power, and refusal to share. Duryodhana had everything, yet the thought of giving something away terrified him. And this is how attachment looks like in your daily life. And this is how you recognize kāma in your daily life. Duryodhana didn't fall because he lacked power. He felt because of his inability to let go. When desire needs control to survive, it's no longer desire, it's bondage. Krodha means anger, and it is personified as Dushasana. When desire is challenged, it turns into anger. Think of Dushasana dragging Draupadi into the court. That act didn't come from courage, it came from wounded ego. Anger always attacks dignity, because dignity reminds ego of its smallness. Anger isn't strength, it's pain that doesn't know how to stay silent. When ego feels threatened, it becomes cruel. Lobha means greed, and it is personified as Karna and Vikarna. Greed is subtle. Karna knew what is right, yet he stayed loyal to the wrong side. Why? Because of attachment to validation, to belonging, to identity. Greed is not always about taking more. Sometimes it is about not walking away. Moha means delusion, and it is personified as Shakuni. Shakuni never used weapons, he used manipulation. The dice game was not chance, it was calculated deception. Shakuni represents moha, the delusion that justifies injustice. And delusion is intelligence without conscience. Moha doesn't deny truth, it replaces it with clever reasoning. Mada means pride, and it is personified as Shalya. Pride is subtle intoxication. Shalya constantly insulted Karna, weakening his own side from within. Pride always fractures unity inside a team or a family or a mind. Pride doesn't need enemies, it destroys from within. Hence, Where pride rules, learning stops. Matsarya means envy, and it is personified as Kritavarma. Every rise of Pandavas triggered envy. Envy doesn't ask, "What is my path?" It asks, "Why them?" And that question slowly poisons the peace. Envy isn't hatred of others, it is forgetting your own journey. Verse 9 shows us the ego's army, many forces, many defenses, and yet verse 10 reveals the truth. Now let us understand Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 10. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. The meaning of this verse is: these our forces protected by Bhishma are unlimited, whereas their army defended by Bhima is limited. Verse 10 says the Kauravas' army is vast yet possibly insufficient. Why? Because the numbers don't defeat the truth. Bhishma represents ego-bound authority, strength tied to past vows, identity, and attachment to position. He is powerful, respected, and experienced, but his power is limited because it is bound by ego and past commitments. Bhim represents aligned life force, raw strength guided by clarity, purpose, and dharma. He does not rely on status or strategy alone. His strength comes from alignment between body, breath, mind, and intent. History showed us something very important. One force that is clear and aligned is stronger than many forces that are powerful but divided within. Truth doesn't need numbers, it needs alignment. The practical teaching of Bhagavad Gita doesn't ask you to fight your desires, it asks you to see it clearly, because awareness weakens ego faster than efforts. The Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 9 teaches us recognition, to see desire, greed, anger, delusion, pride, and envy as they rise within us. The Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 10 offers reassurance. Even if these forces feel many, they are not stronger than the truth. In the next episode, we move to Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 11, where this inner conflict begins to express itself through sound and action. Until then, pause before reacting, breath before deciding, because this pause is where freedom begins.